Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Third Wave Trades. Today I want to give you guys a quick update on Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA, as well as an update on Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. Both stocks are really pushing right now. You guys can see right now over here I've drawn up Nvidia. We closed today at $410. It's up to 412 after hours. And Tesla likewise had a really great day, up $8.88 to 258, and post market is pushing right now as well. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick update on what I think is playing out in terms of their Elliott wave count. Not much has changed from my overall thesis that basically both these stocks are going higher. So you can check out my last Nvidia video as well as my last Tesla video for price projections and things like that. Right now, I think both these stocks are going to have an impulsive move to the upside. Now, it is important that I let you guys know that tomorrow we are expecting the news about the rate hikes and things like that. Today we had CPI data, which came out, pretty bullish for us. That's why the market was pretty much up. But we do have that tomorrow, which is going to be crucial. With rate hikes, I guess we're expected to drop. If there's a pause in the rate hikes, then everything is going to run. So obviously, with Elliott Wave, we don't really take too much of news into consideration. It's kind of like believed amongst the Elliott Wave principle that news is somewhat priced in, including anything from earnings to Fed data and things like that. So take that for what it's worth. But both these stocks, I believe, are going to push higher. So I'm going to show you guys my wave counts, and I guess I'll reiterate some price targets. All right, so before we get started, guys, quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research and/or consult with a financial advisor before making any trading or investment decisions. Secondly, if you guys could, please hit the like button down below if you guys find this content useful, and please subscribe to the channel if you guys want more Elliott Wave breakdowns on your favorite stocks, cryptos, and commodities. All right, guys, so right off the bat, we're just going to start off with Nvidia. I have over here pulled up the 4-hour chart, and you guys can see that we are in the middle of this third wave count. I will also mention that I am on currently the logarithmic scale for Nvidia. I switched over to it a little while ago while doing my analysis. Before, you guys can see this was the normal count that we were looking at, and it really made the wave count a little tricky for me to understand. Switching over to a logarithmic, I think gives it a better basis in terms of the Elliott wave principle. So we'll get into that in a second. Over here, you guys can see that this is our larger wave count. I will show you guys in a second. Switch that to that, and right. So this is the larger count that we are looking at, which is essentially a first wave, second wave that we completed, which is, by the way, the basis for this blue channel that I have drawn. And now we are basically in the middle of a third wave rally. We should get a fourth wave that bounces off of this channel, and then a fifth wave. So this is kind of like the overall picture of what we're looking at for Nvidia. All right, I'll get into exact price targets. Don't mind where these levels are right now. It's just for illustrative purposes to show you guys what I think is playing out. So basically, within this middle of this third wave, you guys can see that we have a 1, 2. Let me change the color on that. All right, we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I believe we finished a 4, and now we're getting a fifth, which will close this third wave up, get another fourth and another fifth, and then we will pull back for our larger degree fourth, and then ultimately rally higher for our fifth wave. All right. If I zoom into this, count right here, I think this is the best way to look at it. And basically, as you guys can see from that base channel, we broke out when we had the last earnings report, and we had that strong rally after hours from around $300 to $400, right? That right there is at the middle of our entire move over here, all right? That's going to be the middle of our third wave move, the most impulsive, right? So that's the third of our third, which makes me think that we have some more rally left in this third wave before we finish it. So I believe that we'll probably get to somewhere close to $500 by the end of this third wave rally before we have a larger fourth wave correction, which could take a couple of months before we rally higher for a fifth wave. All right. If you guys see this pattern that we had over here that we got a clean breakout of, is kind of like a bull flag pattern. That would be our middle 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth wave right here, and then we broke out of that. So I think we are running higher. On a daily chart, you guys can see we've had strong volume today with this breakout move from this pattern. So I think overall we're going higher. We can measure this pole right here, and we can kind of like target it from our breakout area and see a 1-to-1 of that $518 level. So I think there's a chance that we go there. If we use a third wave target, or rather a fifth wave target for this move, we could calculate something like this. A 1-to-1 from the bottom of the fourth could bring us to 450, or we could take this all the way up to the top of the third wave and get a 6.618, which takes us to 500. So I'm favoring this to the $500 level, right? Move to the $500 level, whether that's this fifth wave right here, and then we get a fourth wave pullback, and then we push a little higher for this fifth wave, ultimately closing this third wave. I do think that that is a likely scenario. We'll kind of see like once this wave plays out, but ultimately I think there's a lot more upside for this third wave, and a lot of it's going to depend on, like I said, the data that comes out tomorrow, a pause in the rate hikes, I think, and the whole market pushes, and SPY, NASDAQ, everything, which will both simultaneously push some of these stocks higher, like Nvidia and Tesla and all these tech stocks, and vice versa. Those will bring the overall market up as well, in my opinion. Right? So just want to give you guys that that update on Nvidia. It is really bullish right now, and we got the breakout of our channel, and I think that signifies the middle of our third wave move. I think there's still a lot more in this rally. All right, so that's a quick little update on Nvidia. I'm not going to get too much into it. I think go back and watch my previous video for specific price targets and stuff. And then secondly, Tesla, as you guys know, like we've been following Tesla for a while, and it has been really on a tear, a real third wave move. And hopefully you guys were able to catch the beginning of it when we called it out over here from the bounce at 152, and then even again after that when we closed at 160, signifying the reversal, and then 180 when we were in like the middle of the move really starting to take off. Now in the last video I kind of gave you guys some price targets. I kind of talked about channeling and went into depth about this this third wave in terms of this micro count. I think it's still playing out just like that, right? So you guys can see from here, we had a 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? So this is like really just loading up to take off, and then we get our third wave move over here. We break out fourth, third, fourth is what I'm anticipating, right? So I think we push higher a little bit, come back for a fourth wave, third, fourth, third, fourth, third, right? And so we ultimately are looking to go a lot higher. Now, the exact price targets, again, you guys can see my previous video on Tesla where I go into price projections and everything, but I just want to give you guys this update that we are still getting these channel breakouts, and we are still getting these, we're basically getting the close of these 1-2-1-2s, right? So now we're starting to get the fifth wave, which, you know, a 3-4, 3-4, 3-4s, which are basically closing our 1-2s, and we're ultimately going to be going higher in a stair-stepping fashion, as you guys can see that I have drawn over here in the blue lines. Some red, the red lines signify corrections, and then we go higher, right? So that's what I think we are going to do. As you guys can see, we're up post market to 261. Overall, very bullish. Now, I will say, I don't see any bearish indicators except for one, and that is on the daily time frame, right? Price action looks great, volume looks great. We are really close to getting that breakout out of this channel, which is what I would really want to see to know that for 100% certainty we are not in a C wave. We're past that. But the only thing that is looking somewhat scary if you're long right now is this RSI being at such a high level, right? It's currently at like around 87, 88. That's really the only bearish thing that I can see. You guys can see over here from the EMAs and everything, our 21, we're way above our 21. Our 21 is crossed over our 50 and our 200, and our 50 is about to cross over the 200 as well. Volume looks good. Stochastic is fine. It's just that RSI, it's really overly bought. Now, on the weekly, our weekly RSI is starting to get up there, but there's still a lot of room, right? We're at 66, 67, so it's not that concerning, which tells me there's more room in this rally to run higher. And again, on the weekly RSI, you guys can see we're above our 21, above our 200, our 21 crossed over, and we're above our 50, about to get this crossover as well. Last week, I've mentioned this to you guys, we had this this volume breakout on the weekly, which is a great signifier of a breakout play happening. I think this week we closed with even higher volume. So that all looks bullish. Now, going back to the daily and talking about that RSI, I will mention that even though this does seem high, and that's the only caveat that I would give to this entire bullish run right now, if you go back and you look at our previous run-ups, right, like so back in 2021 where we hit all-time highs, you can see we hit pretty high RSI over here as well, right? Over here we were able to get up to a 94, 95 level. Even one time a couple times before that, we were able to hit when price reached around 280 bucks, around 83, over here around 85, 84, back here around 92. So even though it is really high and it is somewhat concerning, Tesla has has a history of getting this high and the rally is still continuing. So I wouldn't let that be the sole reason to be bearish. I think ultimately, overall, per our thesis, that this is a third wave, given our price targets and everything. You guys can see we're basically in this gap that I told you guys we were going to come back to fill. I think overall, it's still a very strong move. Just be cognizant of that. It's possible that we could trade sideways for a couple days, maybe get a little bit of a pullback, only just to let the RSI reset a little bit, and it only needs to reset, just a little bit for us to come back up, right, and continue our move higher. So, yeah, guys, I think this is still a very strong play. Now, depending on what happens tomorrow, depending on how the Fed decides to what they decide to do with the rate hikes and how the market reacts to it, that's going to be a big indicator. If you guys look at SPY right now, SPY is holding its levels at around 437. It's pretty bullish. So I'm I'm big on both of these stocks right now. I think that both of them are going to continue to push. You guys know my price targets. I think for Tesla, the next level, once we get past this gap fill, we have a couple of these targets over here around 280, 310, and then 340 for a third wave target of 161.8%. And then for Nvidia, some of my price targets, you guys know ultimately from my last video, 430, 475, and then ultimately 500. All right, I'm gonna leave it there today, guys. I just wanted to give a quick update. Didn't want to go into too much detail because you guys can check back from my previous videos to know how I feel about the overall picture of both of these stocks playing out. Just a quick little update. Hope you guys can use that for tomorrow and to trade these stocks in the future. All right, if you guys found the content useful, then please give it a like and please subscribe to the channel if you guys want more Elliott Wave breakdowns on your favorite stocks, cryptos, and commodities. I will be back with more. Peace.